Guru team, welcome fellow PS5 and HOTAS users on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Still struggling? Well, you are not alone. Let me help you. I want to cover a couple of little tips today, one of which is in relation to one of the settings. So you may find when you're using the HOTAS that you end up fighting the game quite a lot, or it seems like you're fighting the game quite a lot. It's probably because of these assistances. Now, there are a bunch of assistances here, and some of them are useful. Some of them are useful to start off with, and some of them are very not useful. For planes, I would turn these all off. So I would turn all of these off, because you can sort all of these out in planes, and you can learn how to do it in planes, and it's quite easy. And if you're trying to use the HOTAS, the HOTAS is very much about fine tuning and really very small movements. And what you can find is you're fighting the game's auto assist because it wants to take control while you're trying to take control, and you can't tell if it's you or your HOTAS settings or something else that's causing the problem. So for fixed wing aircraft, I would say take all of these off. For helicopters, different matter entirely. You might want to keep all of these on. You might want to switch some on and off for particular missions and also for particular certifications. But I'll be covering helicopters and some of my tips for how to use a HOTAS and some of the challenges in flying helicopters with a HOTAS in later episodes. So you may fiddle around with these, but I would say for planes, if you can take off and land, just switch them all off, because that's fine. Everything else is probably really a piece of cake, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. The other thing that I want to talk about is over here at the controller settings again. So do make sure whenever you start that you do have your HOTAS connected and it is being recognized. Do make sure that you have your control scheme in place. It's not just, sometimes it flicks back to the previous one, and if you've set things for a particular reason, as we have discussed with your own key bindings and various other bits and pieces, then you don't want to lose that. You definitely don't want to lose that. But I do want to cover one particular thing, and it is kind of very relevant in particular to helicopters. I need to go and get a helicopter to be able to show you that. So we'll select this helicopter. That will bring up my helicopter HOTAS presets. Hopefully, eventually, whenever the game cycles round to it. Right, so here we are, and you can see here that this is set up. I have my general controls, which controls things like my radio presets and my autopilot presets and everything else, and some very specific helicopter presets. Now, here's the thing with the helicopter stuff. So if we go up here and we have a look at the hardware settings, there is one thing in particular which is very important for helicopters, and that is down here on slider Y. Now, I don't know if you know, but I don't know. You can't quite hear. But on the HOTAS, at dead center, so between where the blue and the white or silver bar meet, there's a dead spot. And if you've got your HOTAS in front of you, just waggle the throttle, and you'll see in waggling the throttle that nothing happens. Now, when you then pass the gate, it moves that gate forward and gate back, right? So now the thing is that, especially in helicopters, but also in some particular aircraft and various other bits and pieces like that, you want to be able to have very fine tuning around the 50% mark or the 50% gate. And I would even say this probably needs to be extended a little bit longer in terms of the size of this dead zone. Because what you will find is if this is not set, you will have nothing, 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 and then it will suddenly jump. And you can see that's quite a big jump. So from there to that's just past the gate. So that's adding like 10% of max throttle, or maybe even more than that. So this jump beyond the gate, you need to fix that. Play around with it. Find a setting that works for you. It obviously works. It doesn't seem to work so bad going back. There seems to be a finer control going back. So that's the gate, and now I'm past the gate, and then I can move it quite slowly. But that's the gate, and it's micrometer movements, right? So you need to find out where this sensitivity is, but you do need to adjust for that gate because it is in there. And it can cause you trouble. It does cause you particular trouble when it comes to helicopters. So always be aware of that in the HOTAS. Always have a look to make those necessary changes. Don't be afraid to go in and fine tune it. It's not a problem. You can save a profile. If you have a profile that works, that's fine. You can create a new profile. You can fiddle around. Keep your old profile. Make sure you've got it. You've given it a name or something that you want to protect, and then you can mess around with that profile. But again, with the HOTAS, a lot of this is very fine tuning. Remove the assistances so you're not fighting the game. You're actually flying the aircraft, and make sure you're compensating for things like the throttle dead zone by readjusting where that dead zone is and how that is important to you. It's something you're going to have to work on yourself. It's very personal. It's entirely up to you. It probably also depends on your particular HOTAS, so I can't give you any solid numbers. You saw the numbers that I was using, but I'm still working through tweaking that. And you may even want to tweak it for particular helicopters or particular aircraft. Anyway, I hope this is useful. If you have found this useful, please click that like. Please subscribe to the channel. Please click the bell notification so you know when the next one of these is coming out. If you have any comments or questions or clarifications or tips or tricks of your own, please feel free to put a comment down below, and I will see you all again for more tips and tricks for Microsoft Flight Simulator on PS5 using the HOTAS real soon. Ta-ta for now.